Some women would
That's
rather stay. You see when they say keep your problems at home. Yeah. African women is like a lot of them is when you get married, stay in that home. Yeah. Stay in that home. That's true. As soon as there's a problem, you come and discuss it with the elders. Yeah. The elders will tell you go back to your husband's house.
Yeah.
It's true. So it doesn't matter what.
As opposed to going to your single ass homegirls and asking them for advice. Alright guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video, y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. Shout out to my Instagram, @Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. It's long, but you know how to spell. If you don't, there's a link to it right down in my description box down below. Guys, feel free to continue to send me content that you find across the internet streets, including TikTok, all of the social medias, all right? Keep sending them. Title of today's video: why are so many black women single? I have not seen this, but I have a feeling based off of the title that this one's gonna be a good one. Without further ado.
Apparently, based on research, there are a large and alarming number of black women who are single in the US and in the UK. Now, in America, Essence.com, they posted this article, right, based on research from matchmakers with the top 7 reasons as to why black men do not want to approach black women. The 7 reasons, some of them was, we don't seem as fun, right? We look like we can't be bothered. This is about black women and black men think this. We don't offer enough support. We don't offer enough support. We're more inhibited sexually, and men's friendliness is always misunderstood by black women, and we put too much pressure on black men. Wait a minute.
I'm surprised they didn't call out like combativeness, disagreeableness within there as well. Let's keep going though.
Are we saying if black women are really single, or the quality of guys that are out there are not necessarily?
I think.
How the did you turn all of that shit around to be the men's fault? You guys gotta stop doing this. Guys have legitimate things that they talk about as to the reason as to why you are not chosen as much. And then immediately it's somehow the guy's fault. Time and time goddamn again. It's like the defense mechanism has been programmed into each and every one of y'all. Like it's like a computer chip that they installed in all of your brains before you were born. It's so predictable at this point.
Too many women.
I think the quality of guys is not.
Can I be understanding? Yeah. Let's understand something. Yeah.
Can I be understanding?
Like, let's understand something. There's too many women. Yeah. There's like 7 to 1
It's a lot of options.
Not everyone's gonna get married. We cannot answer them kind of questions. I'm married. What kind of questions are these? That is not in the manual. Edit, cut, remove.
He's funny.
Okay, hypothetically speaking, if you could have more than one.
My dad did, my uncles did, my dad's dad did, my
friends are the same.
Yeah. Okay. What happened now is generations have changed. It's you women now that are not accepted.
Yeah, they push monogamy.
Yeah. It's you women now that are
in
not
R&B songs.
My moms, my aunties, 4 wives, 3 wives, 2 wives.
He's also African.
What wealthy?
How wealthy were the
Some
men?
people were poor as shit and had 7 wives.
Well, then that's
it was about the fact that there wasn't enough women. There's not enough men.
Because you know why? Because women are on the rise. They're like, they're not taking the shit.
Yeah. Now you're doing.
You know what it's actually made me think of as well is like, you know, the whole, you know, equality shit that they live in right now. So equality also means 1-to-1. Right? Like, but knowing that our history did not come from that, it's not to say that we can't evolve, right, to be something different into the future. But have we really caught up? If there's a disparity between the amount of women that are on the planet versus men, or at least available women versus available men, right? Like, and especially available women that are looking for available men that they can date up or be in a relationship up to, because your evolutionary biology means that you can't really respect men that you view as beneath you. Meanwhile, men are more hardwired to want women that are beneath them, right? So let's keep going.
empowerment and everything, fantastic, wonderful.
Yeah.
Some of you are not going to marry.
Yeah, it's true.
Some of you are not going to have
They're
kids.
going to be forever single.
Some of you are going to be single forever. Some of you are going to be in and out of relationships.
You can't
No, but
hold it down.
what I'm saying is because there's 7 to 1. So that one woman that's not willing
Yeah.
to do 100%.
Oh, I see.
I don't think it's
that guy is
that. I
gonna
don't think it's
find
7 to 1.
Another woman that's willing to do it.
Or two.
It's just how it works. Why? Because guys more than likely
But can we
will be
also
single.
talk about the
it's-
caliber of men? Because come on, it's shoddy business going on out there. Like some of my friends, I'm like, you good girls, but the guys.
They always go for it.
Girls like bad guys.
That's true.
Can I
And then they want it to turn good.
It's an age. It's the
And then they want it to
It's the
turn
age
good.
and the
No,
generation.
they like bad guys. Why? You want a man that can protect you and hold it down and
Me, I don't
respect
need
you.
protecting
And
anymore. I'm
then,
fine.
as he gets older,
It
you
kills
tell
the
him,
argument.
Listen, you gotta drop something out, and he's looking at you like, yeah, but how?
I agree with that.
It completely kills the entire argument, and it's unless you could take accountability for what he just said. Because think about what she said. I feel like it's the guys, the options, the guys. Well, but it's all on the choice. If they're choosing these guys that are not choosing them back, right? Or they're choosing these guys that are giving them eggplant but are not giving them relationship or ring back, then it's the guys that they are choosing. You're just going to say that a whole race of successful men just don't exist. They're just not there, or they're just invisible to you.
I think sometimes there's the thrill of the bad guy,
Yeah.
but I do feel
In what day and age? It's not the 90s anymore.
It's still out there.
It's still out there. She not with reality.
A little bit of edge, because you don't want
That's a
someone
bit
who's boring
flashy.
that can kind of be a bit feisty or has his own opinions. But I do think though, I think with social media, I think guys are getting a bit too brave, and
How do
because
they
think
keep
there's
putting on
loads
us?
of options, more
Oh,
options.
there is.
There are. So they're kind of like, oh,
And if
okay,
it's
you
not
won't
in the
do
UK,
it.
it's in
then-
Miami.
Well, yeah, exactly.
In Atlanta,
International.
it's lit.
Because all they have to do is slide in the DMs. Way back when,
Yeah,
there wasn't the
exactly.
DMs. There wasn't even, you know,
There was
mobile
free
phones.
voice
DMs
note.
is a bit
Exactly.
scummy.
Yo, the whole social media argument, you don't think women have access to the same social media that men do? Like, yeah, like I will give it to you. Social media has increased access to different people from all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the 1600s, right? You were relegated to the ladies in your tribe, right? If you only had ugly women in your tribe, you know what I'm saying? That's what you had access to, right? Now, right? Now the bloat of options leads to people to think on average that they can do better. But to assign that to exclusively a male issue, it's problematic. Women go through the same goddamn thing. In fact, I'd argue women go through it way more. Why? Women want to date up, so there really isn't a ceiling.
Free voice
So
note.
it was
That's it.
harder. It was harder to kind of see your options. But I think now, men are spoilt for choice, and they're being
Absolutely,
picky.
yeah.
So I think
But so are women. Why are we
Yeah.
like thinking that it's only men? Do you
Great.
know how many men are
Because
out
you
there?
must respect yourself. Let's not forget that.
Let me tell you something.
Let's not forget. This is another
Girls
issue.
are having
A lot
sex.
of women
That's the
want to be
reality.
like men, and men
No,
are now
no.
thinking, well, if you want to be men,
So be
men.
it.
Let's
I'm
all
not
do
saying
it.
that.
Equality.
I'm saying that.
Not that it's right for men to do
if
it,
somebody
but a
think-
lot more women are trying to do what men are doing,
No,
and men are coming
I'm not
across
talking
like.
about sleeping with everybody, but having your options. If you know what I mean, if the offering that's currently there isn't really saying nothing.
If this is a current account, well,
What is that?
This is not
How you gonna
Santander.
tell me
a
this is a
woman
current account?
should take her time
Yeah.
with a man and get to know him, not sleep with him. I'm not saying. I mean, get to know him and see if it's compatible. A problem with a lot of women is they don't ask questions. They feel like if I
No,
ask
I'm
them
a
too many
question
questions,
I'm a question
person. I want to know
person.
your
So you're
credit.
getting
Are you,
places.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
what's
a
your
question
credit
person.
score? Like, what
Yeah,
you're
but-
really saying, you
Is
know?
it lit?
But you're
No.
right. I think some women,
No
you're right.
questions.
Some women don't have the standards.
You want to have children, you don't want to have
Exactly,
children.
but some women
you're
don't
really
have the
working,
standards,
don't
but
work.
then because those women don't have the standards, it makes it an effect on everyone because then they think every
Why is he
woman
here?
has got no standards.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
if you meet 10 women and you're going through no standards 10 times,
Yeah.
you meet number 11 and she's like, I got standards. You're like, please.
Yeah.
You're gonna first say please.
But
Why?
isn't it all about sex then? If
Well,
that's the case,
no,
the
it's
ease
not.
of sex.
Well, she's got to prove it with her actions, not just her words. I think that's what his point is. Yeah, it's always please, right? But you got to prove it with your actions. You got to show me that you about that life.
Because isn't that really the end goal that if you're meeting 10 girls, they're all saying the
You're
same
gonna
thing.
bang.
The 11th one says, she's got standards, but you're like, nah. Isn't
That's
it?
why some
Because
people
how
marry the
easy the
11th
other
one.
person is.
Yeah.
That's why
It's
some
true.
people marry the 11th one. And some people
That's
say,
true.
no, I'm going back to
Unfortunately,
easy.
some men go through. This sounds awful, but some men go through them to get to that one.
It's true.
No, but then when they get to that one, usually then they still behave bad.
They do. They do.
And that's the problem. A lot of wives are
That's
at home
the
crying
issue.
because
Yeah.
their husbands are not staying
And
at
that's
home.
why
They
people
still
are
want to go
single.
and play.
That's why women are single.
Do you know, let me say something to you, yeah? Do you understand? Do you know the meaning of embarrassment?
Go on, explain.
Yes. A lot of women don't want that in their
It's
home.
true. That's true.
You see, some women would
That's true.
rather stay. You see, when they say keep your problems at home,
Keep it locked in the
especially
house.
African.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they will keep
Jamaicans,
them.
we like to air.
Can you see? Do
That's
you understand? African women is like a lot of them is when you get married, stay in that home.
Yeah.
But then you got the white women going on Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah,
and
you
they're like,
know?
Stay in that home.
true.
As soon as there's a problem, you come and discuss it with the
family,
elders.
yeah.
The elders
Yeah.
will tell you go back to your husband's house.
Yeah.
It's true.
So
it doesn't matter what he.
As opposed to going to your single ass homegirls and asking them for advice. Ah.
does.
what
go back.
happening is you getting back home, B. It's lit.
So there's a recent survey on Essence.com that said the reason why so many black women are single
It's
is
a dapper
because
brother.
black men are scared to approach them. Do you think this is true?
We need to up our game.
So are you scared to approach a black woman?
Well, no, it's
Yeah.
just that I feel that black women they're too proud.
Proud?
Yeah.
Okay, honest? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Black women, they're too proud.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
need to-
that's why I kind of
have-
get put off by it.
Interesting. He said we need to up our game, and then he said black women are too proud. So which one is it? You confusing well-dressed, dapper young gentlemen? A little bit confused. So is it you saying you need to up your own game to get over their proudness? But it also sounds like he's just like, well, but I'm just not gonna do it. So I just won't approach them because of perceived proudness. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like I understand what he's saying. You know, it's crazy to see the curve that happens in different cities. When I talk about curve, I mean curve from like a test perspective. Because like the curve, if you're in like a mid-level tier city, right? Like what's a 8 in a mid-tier city? You go to some of these major cities, and what's an 8 is a 6. There's a major curve, right? So like oftentimes, and like me, like myself, like I'm well traveled, you know what I'm saying? So I see, right, the curve, the world curve, right? So then banging in the city that I'm currently in right now, I'm just like, I wish that y'all knew. I wish that y'all knew what excellence was, because you probably wouldn't be as proud as what you are right now. But you know, it is what it is. Just like my example earlier. If you was the hottest chick in your tribe back in the 1600s, I guess you had something to be proud of. You know what I mean? Let's keep going.
Proud.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
need to-
that's why I kind of
have-
get put off by it.
Okay, let's see this, yeah. Since young, year 7,
Yeah.
I got violated by black women. Like
Yeah.
dark
Violated?
women.
Yeah.
So obviously, white girls were easiest for me.
Yeah.
So I
Oh, he's
started
traumatized.
liking like white girls more.
Yeah.
But as I got older, my mum told me like black women ain't the same.
Yeah.
And I see my sister and that they're calm. So now I date black girls.
Yeah.
But what I think is black girls just stereotypes, isn't it?
So it's the stereotypes of the angry black woman.
Huh? Yeah, like
Yeah.
the angry, bipolar and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So you now, as you've gotten older, you've got what, more confident in approaching black women?
Yeah, because obviously now, I don't know, I think my looks gone better. So
Oh.
when I drop game to black girls,
They're like,
they
"Oh,
don't
they
mind
know."
now.
There was a bunch of things I wanted to say within that particular discussion right there. Hold on, let me bring it back real quick.
They don't mind
know.
now.
Hold on.
Bipolar and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So you now, as you've gotten older, you've got what, more confident in approaching black women?
Yeah, because obviously now, I don't know, I think my looks gone better.
You see when he looked down right there, this young man right here, what he described in the beginning of this conversation, that essentially he was traumatized by women that looked just like him growing up, and now how he found talking to other women were not the same thing. And then when he looks down like this, when he says maybe, you know, my looks got better, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is a dude who is a good, you could tell he has a good hearted spirit. He even feel confident saying shit like that. He run into the wrong one. He gonna get his heart ripped completely and utterly out his chest because he's probably a good guy and he's gonna get taken full advantage of by someone that sees that goodness and takes his kindness for weakness. What's interesting in the way that he was talking is I can see, many women looking at his shit like, you had, who hurt you? You had some women back into the day. And the thing is like, y'all poke fun at that who hurt you shit, but there's a lot of people that go through a lot of traumatizing experiences, with being made fun of, being bullied, whatever, what have you. And unlike male to male, boys are not supposed to hit girls. So what else do you have to fight back with? And men don't want to fight women. It's just not our thing. It's just not cut up for that, unless you have like the gift of gab and you can joke back and put them verbally into submission through your jokes or what have you, and sting, like really get at the insecurities to sting where it really hurts. But, there's some that just don't develop that sense of pettiness. This right here is a walking example of the things that I talk about in my videos when I talk about my experience of being a young black boy, but not wholly fit like a Lego block into black culture as I was growing up, and the realization of that not being the case, and then finding myself being happy with who I am and saying, at the end of the day, it's survival of the fittest. They may not like me over there for the person that I have, but they might, so I'm gonna keep doing my anime shit. I'm gonna keep on doing my video game playing shit. I'm gonna keep on doing my geeky type shit. What's funny about all of that shit is that all of the geeky shit that I was into as a kid is the reason why I have a YouTube channel right now. I mean, think about it. You gotta love technology to have a YouTube channel. So the geek shit paid off. You understand what I'm saying? I say all that to say, guys, listen, at the end of the day, black men, black women, we all just need to be the best versions of ourselves and take accountability for the energy that we give out. I'm not going to be over here to say that, black men are not without fault from a general perspective or things that we can't improve on. And I'm not over here to say that black women are always at fault. I just think that there's some key things in there that we have to be able to call out and then switch it from the narrative that has been fed to both men and women for decades. Because I would contend the way that it's at right now, as uneven as it is, if you help inform more of the women of the lies that they have been taught or fed into, then you'll get a lot more to cure the epidemic of singleness. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre Tourism Reviews at gmail.com. Guys, did you agree with the things that I said in here? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comment box down below. Make sure you guys put the timestamps in there so I know exactly what it is that you are talking about. This was a fun one here today. Make sure you guys go on Instagram and continue to send me content so we can keep the roller coaster going. Last but not least, if you guys want to support me, make sure that this continues. You want to be a part of the inner circle, the Patreon, make sure that you guys click on that link, beam up, and come through and support your homie. All right? Until next time, YouTube.